everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a major foreign policy speech that is causing ripples across the Horn of Africa. Ethiopia's Foreign Minister, Taye Selassie, recently delivered a powerful address at a forum co-hosted by the Horn Review and Addis Ababa University. He laid out Ethiopia's vision for the future, and let me tell you, it's a mix of olive branches and firm warnings that we need to unpack. So, what's the big picture? According to the foreign minister, Ethiopia's foreign policy is built on three main pillars: peace, stability, and regional integration. This isn't just about Ethiopia, it's about creating a stronger, more connected Horn of Africa where everyone can prosper. He emphasized that Ethiopia is deeply committed to dialogue and cooperation among all the nations in the region. This is a message of unity, a call to work together to solve shared challenges. Think about it, from economic development to security threats. The countries of the Horn have so much to gain by collaborating. This vision paints a picture of a region moving past old conflicts and building a new era of partnership. It's an ambitious goal, but one that could fundamentally transform the lives of millions. Now, let's get to the most talked about part of the speech: the relationship between Ethiopia and Eritrea. This has been a complex and often tense dynamic for decades. The foreign minister called for restraint and mutual understanding, which sounds hopeful, right? He's essentially extending a hand, suggesting that both sides need to take a step back and communicate. However, this came with a very significant warning. He stated that Ethiopia's patience cannot be indefinite or unconditional. This is a powerful statement. It signals that while Addis Ababa prefers a peaceful, diplomatic path, there is a limit to how long they're willing to wait for a positive response from Asmara. It's a classic diplomatic strategy, combining the offer of dialogue with a clear red line. This suggests that the current status quo, in Ethiopia's view, is unsustainable. They are signaling that things need to change, and they are putting the ball squarely in Eritrea's court to engage constructively. This isn't a threat of aggression, but rather a firm declaration that inaction or continued hostility from Eritrea will eventually have consequences. The message is clear: Ethiopia wants peace, but not at any cost. Following that strong message to Eritrea, the foreign minister turned his attention to the wider world. He made a direct appeal to the international community. What did he ask for? He urged global powers and international bodies to pressure Eritrea to stop what he described as destabilizing acts. This is a significant move. Instead of just dealing with the issue bilaterally, Ethiopia is trying to rally international support to its side. They are framing Eritrea's actions not just as a problem for Ethiopia, but as a threat to the stability of the entire region. By asking the world to encourage Eritrea to embrace constructive engagement, Ethiopia is positioning itself as the reasonable actor, the one seeking a peaceful resolution, while painting Eritrea as a spoiler. This diplomatic push is crucial. It aims to isolate Eritrea on the world stage if it continues its current path, making it harder for them to ignore Ethiopia's calls for dialogue. It also shows that Ethiopia is using all the diplomatic tools at its disposal before considering any other options. This is a chess game being played on a global scale, and Ethiopia is making a very calculated move. And finally, we have to talk about the issue that underpins so much of this new foreign policy push: sea access. The foreign minister was incredibly direct about this, calling secure access to the sea an existential matter for Ethiopia's growth and survival. Let's break down what existential means here. It's not just a preference, it's a matter of life and death for the nation's future. Ethiopia is one of the most populous, landlocked countries in the world. Its economy is growing rapidly, and its population is booming. Without reliable and direct access to a port, its economic potential is capped. Trade becomes more expensive, and the country is vulnerable to the political whims of its neighbors who control its access to global markets. By framing this as a survival issue, Ethiopia is sending a clear message: this is not a point they are willing to negotiate away. It's a fundamental national interest. This explains their urgency and the firmness in their diplomatic tone. It connects all the dots the desire for regional integration, the pressure on Eritrea, and the call for international understanding. It all comes back to securing a future where Ethiopia is not constrained by its geography. So, let's put it all together. What does the speech really tell us about Ethiopia's strategy? We're seeing a multi-pronged approach. First, there's the vision of a cooperative and integrated Horn of Africa where shared prosperity is the goal. This is the positive, forward-looking part of the strategy. It's an invitation to all regional players to join in building a better future. Second, there's a very specific and firm message directed at Eritrea. It is a mix of a call for dialogue and a clear warning that the current situation is not tenable indefinitely. It's a demand for change. Third, there is the international dimension, a campaign to get the world to recognize Ethiopia's security and economic needs, and to help pressure Eritrea into a more cooperative stance. And finally, all of this is driven by the non-negotiable, existential need for sea access. This isn't just a single policy announcement. It's the unveiling of a comprehensive grand strategy. Ethiopia is trying to reshape its geopolitical environment. They are being assertive, clear about their intentions, and are using a combination of diplomatic carrots and sticks to achieve their goals. This is a pivotal moment for the Horn of Africa. The implications of this are huge. If this strategy is successful, we could see a major realignment in the region. A more integrated Horn could unlock massive economic potential. However, the path is filled with challenges. The firm stance on Eritrea and the unwavering demand for sea access could also increase tensions. Before they get better, a lot depends on how Eritrea responds and how the international community decides to engage. Will they heed Ethiopia's call and pressure Asmara? Or will they adopt a wait-and-see approach? The reactions from neighboring countries like Djibouti, Somalia, Kenya, and Sudan will also be critical. Do they see Ethiopia's vision of regional integration as a benefit to all, or as a play for regional dominance? These are the questions that diplomats and analysts are grappling with right now. We are watching a high-stakes diplomatic drama unfold in real time. The outcome will shape the Horn of Africa for decades to come, impacting peace, security, and the economic well-being of over 150 million people. What happens next? We'll be keeping a close eye on the reactions from Asmara. Will there be a public statement, or will the response be actions rather than words? We'll also monitor the statements from major global powers like the United States, China, and the European Union. Their positions could be decisive. And of course, we'll watch for any new diplomatic initiatives or meetings between the leaders of the region. Is a summit on the horizon? Can mediators get involved? The speech by Foreign Minister Taye Selassie wasn't just a speech. It was the firing of a starting gun. It has set in motion a new phase of diplomacy and geopolitical maneuvering in one of the world's most strategic and volatile regions. It's a bold and risky strategy, but from Ethiopia's perspective, it's a necessary one for their survival and prosperity. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think Ethiopia's approach will lead to peace and integration, or could it escalate tensions? Let me know your analysis in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear your perspectives on this complex issue. Thanks for watching, and if you found this breakdown helpful, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth analysis on geopolitics and international relations. See you in the next one.